benefits of chanting the holy name, this is a must read. Do you sell this book?
No.
You should. This book is compiled by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. This book is actually a conversation between Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Haridas Thakur, who is the Acharya, the Namacharya, the teacher of how to chant the holy name. Okay? And so Lord Chaitanya, he's asking Haridas Thakur to explain the science of chanting the holy name. And here is God sitting before him, telling him to speak. This is a similar situation when Lord Chaitanya asked Ramananda Roy to speak on, the goal of life. So Haridas Thakur was like, he was beyond himself. He says, how can I speak? And he's asking me to speak to him about the holy name, his name, and the way to get the most effects out of it. But I don't feel so comfortable about that. But at the same time, he's the Supreme Lord. He's asking me to do it, so I have to do it. So out of his humility and respect for Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he started speaking about the holy name. So, first of all, the holy name, Lord Haridas Thakur starts speaking. It's always pure. It's even in the material world, the holy name is spotlessly pure. Okay, it's not contaminated by the material energy, even though it comes down to material sphere. Golokera Premadan Harinam Cintamani. Okay? And in Kali Yuga, the Lord, seeing the short duration of life of the inhabitants, the diseases, the decreased intelligence and strength, and he disregarded the previous ages' processes for self-realization because they're very gradual, and for people with a long lifespan. So generally in the different ages, the different processes of self-realization are there, and they all require a full lifetime of dedication with heart and soul in order to get the full benefit. So in Kali Yuga, these processes are not relevant. Okay? So Lord Chaitanya, he glorified Haridas Thakur for being always transcendental, despite taking birth in a meat-eating family, a Muslim family, thereby exhibiting that spiritual success in Kali Yuga does not depend on a high birth, refinement, good character, and honor from society, and so on and so forth, but on faith alone. That is the prerequisite for being to get benefits from chanting the holy names. So the name gives dharma, artha, kama, and moksha to the materialistic devotee. So if you're a materialistic devotee, you're not going to get Krishna praying. So the idea is to gradually be coming from a materialistic devotee to a pure devotee. So it's a transformation. Okay? And Haridas Thakur, first of all, he defined what a Vaishnava is. And a Vaishnava is one who takes the holy name with faith. Krishna is God, his name is, his potencies are fully present in his holy name, and I'm chanting and then hearing it with that understanding and that faith that Krishna is there in the name. That's a Vaishnava. Okay? And a semi-Vaishnava, his faith is there but mixed. It's not so strong. So it's called Namabas. Both people that chant the holy name with full faith and those that chant the holy name with partial faith, they get the benefits of the holy name. The benefits are there. And in order to advance from being a semi-Vaishnava to a Vaishnava, one must serve the bona fide guru with great attention. And by this combination of Guru Seva and Nam Seva, serving the Guru and serving the name by chanting the name, the anarthas within the heart of the semi-Vaishnava will gradually disappear, and the pure name will manifest on the devotee's tongue and dance in ecstasy. So this is the challenge the neophyte devotee faces, to keep up this determination to chant the holy name in a more attentive, more pure, more humble, more tolerant way, and do it steadily every day. So just like when you have a condition, a disease, you go to a physician and the physician takes, you have a, in modern terms, you have an infection. Okay, there's this antibiotic. Okay, you take it, 3 times a day for 10 days, and it works. The infection goes away. So similarly, in this age of Kali, Harinam, 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 Eva Kevalam, Kalo Nisteva, Gathira Nacha. It's the only way. Only way. In this age of Kali, to attain self-realization. So when you don't have a taste for the holy name, you do it anyway as medicine. Just like I'm also a farmer, by the way.
Whoa.
But I'm not like Kapakunda is like Haridas Thakur. As a farmer, he's a farmer, but he's a preacher. That's a full, package. I'm just half a package. I'm just the farmer. I'm amazed at he's done this for years and years. His ability to go out and give Krishna consciousness to others with his farming skills. So anyway, getting back to the chanting of the holy name. So the question can be, who has the right to chant the holy name? What's the qualification?
Just qualification.
There's no qualification to have the right to chant the holy name. Just like Jagai and Madai. What qualification did they get? They have. They didn't have any qualification. All they had was disqualification. But by the mercy of Lord Nityananda, they came in contact with God himself, and who was not saying he's God himself, but he's a devotee of God, and they became purified and got the benefits from chanting the holy names. So we may not be as fallen as Jagai and Madai, but many of us are quite coming from questionable backgrounds. I know I am, all right? So there's no disqualification for chanting the holy name. Everyone has the right to chant the holy name. So the holy name is like the sun, okay? And it dispels the darkness of illusion. But sometimes clouds and mist obscure the light of the sun, so that you don't get the full benefit of the sun. You just get a partial benefit. So it's this Haridas Thakur, he's explaining that anarthas are unwanted characteristics of a living entity that many of us have. They block the potency of the holy name, the sun of the holy name. It's like clouds and mist. Okay? And when this anarthas and ignorance predominate, the sun of the holy name becomes covered, and only a portion of the holy name is felt. So when chanting the holy name, tears are not flowing from your eyes, the hairs on your body are not standing on end, and you're not feeling ecstatic symptoms. That means you're not getting the full effect of the holy name. So the goal is to advance in spiritual life, so eventually we will get the full effects of the holy name. And initiation, who got initiated? Let me see the hands of who got initiated yesterday. One. How many people? 2, 3. And no one else is here?
There's 7 of them. But
7 of them. Okay, very nice. This initiation is initiate. It means it's the beginning. And those of us that were initiated before, we're still endeavoring. All right, we're still on the journey. It's not that initiation is the end. It's the beginning of your spiritual progress. And there's no end, because spiritual life is unlimited and ever increasing. And there's no boundaries to it. So therefore, there's no question of saying that you've made it, so to speak, because there's always higher and higher levels of relationships with Krishna and his devotees that we can all aspire for. So anarthas, that's what's blocking us. So what is the definition of anartha? Haridas Thakur gives the definition. It says, thirst for material objects. Like I was being introspective. I was thinking, because I'm a farmer, my truck just broke down, and I was thinking, wow, I'd like to have one of those electric trucks. You know, I don't have, you know, I'm tired of going to the engines breaking. There's no more gas engine, you know, and it's a lot. All right. Anyway, that's a material object. Craving for material objects in this world, craving for heavenly sense pleasures in the next life, all right, and desire for impersonal liberation. This is one type of anartha. That's number one. Number two is called, so the first one is thirst for material objects. Number two is miserliness of heart. And that's attachment to things not related to Krishna. Okay, deceit. You find yourself being deceitful and you do it a lot. Envy of someone else's progress. In other words, you see someone else doing well and you put them down and criticize them to make you look better than them. And longing for position and fame. This is also an anartha. Wanting to be in charge, wanting to be known as whatever, as a devotee, as a farmer, as a whatever you may be. That's an anartha. It's a contamination of the heart. This is also blocking the sun of the holy name. And so you're not getting the full benefit of the holy name. And then the third is offense, aparad, offense to Krishna, offense to Krishna's devotees, and also offense to other living entities in general. It doesn't just say human beings. It's other living entities. So that will also block the effects of your chanting. You know, you're taking the medicine, but you're not getting the full effect of the medicine. So this is all introspective. We all have to look at ourselves and how we can improve our chanting and how we can become better reciprocals so that we get the benefit, we'll absorb the benefit of the holy name. And we can serve the holy name. And by chanting it ourselves and giving it to others with more potency and more effect. Like that. So it's described by Haridas Thakur. He's a great teacher, by the way. He uses analogies. You read this book and you can say, wow, Haridas Thakur, he's not just chanting the holy name, but he's presenting the holy name with great teaching skills, actually. So he goes on to say that one takes shelter of a pure Vaishnava and takes up the chanting of Krishna's names, then surely he will attain prema. Okay, so then he goes into Nama Abbas and how it is all auspicious. That means you're chanting the holy name, but you still have an artist. Okay, and it's all auspicious. It's better than digging wells. It's better than feeding the poor. It's better than building hospitals. It's better than, and as far as material piety goes, it's better than anything. And it leads to bhakti. And it destroys the effects of Kali Yuga. Karma is destroyed by Nama Abbas chanting. and is more powerful than the Vedas, and more powerful than holy places. Nama Bas chanting. It's, so potent. And by Nama chanting with anartas, one can go to the border of Vaikuntha. But one cannot enter into Vaikuntha, but one can go to the gate of Vaikuntha. So this is to encourage those that are chanting the holy name in the Namabas stage to keep doing it, because you will make progress like that. So then he goes on to say he says, because Nam is the name, and Abbas means faint light, okay, or indirect image. So you're not really perceiving Krishna in his name, but you're on the path to getting there. And there's Abbas is of two types. There's direct light. That means the sun is there and it's covered, but you're getting some light and it's direct. And then there's indirect light, where like you're not getting any sun directly, but it's reflecting off like water or something like that. Mm-hmm. That's the analogy he's giving. And so the clouds of anartas and the mist of ignorance allow only a faint light of the holy name to enter. So he goes on to elaborate how when one chants the holy name with faith and not distorted faith, this is compared to the direct light. But if one is chanting the holy names, and although having the opportunity to do it with pure faith, just like Prabhupada's movement is here, the opportunity is here for everyone to take the holy name from a bona fide spiritual master in disciplic succession, and many gurus are there that you can surrender to and serve, and under their guidance chant the holy names. That's with proper faith, because that's the process. Evam parampara praptam imang rajar suyovidu. This process has been going on since time immemorial, as stated in the Bhagavad Gita. But if one is chanting the holy name and with a reflected light or distorted faith, the name is also distorted. And you cannot get the real benefits of chanting Krishna's names like this, and you'll never get Krishna praying. So different philosophies kind of sometimes pop up, even within ISKCON. I can, just for one, is like Ritvik philosophy. Everyone knows. Okay, this is a distorted faith. There's nowhere in any Shastra, in any, Itihas, Purana, the Bhagavatam, anywhere, that someone takes initiation from someone who they cannot see, they cannot touch, they cannot hear from directly. This is never done. Because we are covered living entities. We are materially contaminated. We require to see our Guru with our material eyes and serve him with our physical body and with our physical senses in order to become purified. We can take shiksha to the instructions of past acharya, but we cannot take diksha. This is this is not according to Shastra. So that is an example of distorted faith, where someone who is like born in 1982 and they come forward and declare themselves a disciple, Diksha disciple of Srila Prabhupada. So this kind of, it's going on, so we should be aware of it and not fall to the trap of taking up this type of faith, which is called distorted faith. Because it really does matter what is there within your heart. What is your purpose? What is your conclusion? What is your mindset in chanting the holy name? What is your, why are you doing it? And how are you doing it? In what type of a mood? It's all internal. And it affects the results. So then, Haridas Thakur, after going through the foundation of chanting the holy name in what proper consciousness, and he starts elaborating, and he started elaborating on the 10 offenses against the holy name. So and it's described that even if one is chanting in a bas, not and with direct image, okay, in other words, directly from the sun, not distorted, all right, one has accepted a guru from the disciplic succession, and one is serving him. But if one commits the offenses against the holy name, that will also hinder his progress, and it can make it become very, very, very slow. And it can stop it for some time, because if one commits offenses against the holy name, then it creates material desire. When one like blasphemes devotees or considers the name to be equal, Krishna's name to be like Shiva or Indra, the demigods, or preaches the holy name to faithless people. I'm not going to go through what the different 10 offenses of the holy name are, but that Haridas Thakur, that it creates material desires, and the taste for the holy name decreases. So then you lose your taste for chanting. But in the Nectar of Instruction, it's described that the holy name is just like sugar for a jaundice patient. It's very sweet sugar. But if one is sick with jaundice, then sugar tastes very bitter. But but the medicine for someone with a jaundice is to take the bitter medicine of sugar, and it will cure one of jaundice, and eventually it will, you'll taste the sweetness of the sugar again. So if someone commits offenses against the holy name, and the taste for the holy name decreases, and then your faith in the holy name decreases, the medicine is to keep chanting the holy name. Even though it's bitter, it doesn't taste very good. You don't have a taste for it. And then if you simultaneously understand by the association of devotees that you identify, you're introspective and says, wow, I've been criticizing Vaishnavas. I've been doubting Krishna. I've been, I'm thinking that I want to, get material benefits from chanting the holy names. I'm inattentive, and actually all the offenses that are created by being inattentive while chanting. Maybe I'm falling asleep when I'm chanting the holy name. All of a sudden I'm feeling a tremendous urge for the opposite sex. What's going on here? It's the improper chanting of the holy name, Namabas. And so then you can introspectively look at yourself and say, okay, I gotta watch it. I gotta be more careful. I have to be more respectful to the devotees, to Krishna, and other living entities in general also. It's not as serious, but it is also there. And as one matures in devotional service, one can sometimes look back at one's own life in devotional service and feel, wow, I was really bad. I do that. Because I used to go out on book distribution, and I would squeeze the people for their money to get a donation. And they wouldn't walk away very happy. And they got a book, and they surrendered something, but they didn't do it on their own. It was like sales tactics and coercion, and I took advantage of I did book distribution to Japanese, and they're naturally very kind of timid type people, and if they wouldn't give a donation, I'd put my foot down.
Oh my God.
And externally, I was quite successful. I mean, I brought home a lot of Lakshmi, I distributed a lot of books, but now I look back and I say that was devotional service in the mode of ignorance, because I'm doing it in such a way I used anger, I used coercion, I used so many things, and the people walked away with a bad taste. I used to do this in Hawaii, and the tour buses would come down full of Japanese honeymoon couples. From the whole plane would be Japanese honeymoon couples, and then they'd pull a big bus full of them, and they'd be going down the road to where their hotel was, and I'm standing out there. They'd stop the bus in the middle of the road, and the tour guide would point at me in front of all of them and say, "Don't talk to this guy."
Wow.
So now I look back on that and says, you know something? So this is introspection, and you feel like, okay, I have to change. And we can all look at ourselves. How can we, and it's not just in the sitting down and chanting your japa. I'm falling asleep, I'm not being attentive, I'm not focusing on the holy name, I'm thinking, those are also there. But in the offenses against the holy name also include how we treat other living entities, what type of desires are we cultivating, the association we keep, the activities that we do throughout the day. This all it all has effects on how much benefit we are going to be getting from chanting the holy name. So this is this process of Krishna consciousness is not every Sunday from 11 to 12, 52 times a year, or 52 weeks in a year. This is 24/7, 365 for at least one lifetime. And you'll be success. If it's not 24/7, if it's 12/7, 365, now I'm a boss. And hopefully it'll go from 12 to 14 to 18 hours a day, and eventually come to 24, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, for one full lifetime. And if not one full lifetime, then carry on to the next lifetime and make progress from there, and gradually you'll get Krishna Prem. There's one sloka in the Bhagavad Gita. Tasmat Twam Indriyani Ado. Anyone know this sloka? Tasmat Twam Indriyani Ado Niyamya Bhadatashava Patmanam Prajahiyenam Dhyana Vijnana Nashanam. Krishna tells Arjuna, in the very beginning, curb this great symbol of sin by niyamya, regulating these senses, and slay this destroyer of knowledge and self-realization. So it's not just regulating the senses, but it's regulating the senses, like you can have regulated senses and that you're going to be, eating meat 3 times a day. That's also regulating the senses. But regulating the senses according to Krishna's instructions and the Acharya's instructions, the Sadhu's instructions. And that is, for us, as given by Srila Prabhupada, getting up early in the morning, chanting 16 rounds, worshiping the deity, associating with these pancha angas, associating with the Srimad Bhagavatam by reading it yourself and explaining it to others, worshiping Tulsi Devi. All these things are very, very potent, and they will give one immense benefit, and that will be, you'll get the vision to look into your own lives by these very potent processes, and so that you can clear away the clouds and mist of the illusions and get the full benefit of the light of the holy name. So, any questions or comments? I don't know, what time am I supposed to stop?
Around this time, Prabhu.
Around this time?
Yeah.
Okay.
And as far as questions, Bhakti Kasmar said, is it raining today? Has anyone seen the weather report?
Really sunny, I think.
It's iffy.